So I haven't ordered a burger in a restaurant since I started making burgers like this at home. It takes me 5 minutes, but it's gonna take a little bit longer today because I'm gonna show you all of the burger hacks that you're gonna need to know to make this easy and impressive 5-minute homemade beef burger. My secret to prepping toppings, a sauce that is absolutely next level, and the pro way to melt your cheese. This is another recipe for real life. I'm Christina, and you're here on the main.
Can I come in your kitchen, baby, and cook all night long with you?
Oh, that's thunder. Do you hear that? Good thing we're not grilling these burgers. I don't know if anyone told you, grilling is actually not the best way to cook a burger. More on that in a minute. We're gonna start with a burger sauce. Now, there's not 100 things in this burger sauce. I make a couple of burger sauces. Let me know if you wanna see a video on some of the different ones I make. This one specifically for the 5-minute burger takes 30 seconds. Again, a little bit longer because I'm gonna show you how to do it, but we're gonna need your mayonnaise, and we're going to need regular ballpark style mustard. I'll show you what I mean. So grab whatever mayo you use, and this is a ballpark style mustard. It's just yellow. Get whatever works for you. We're gonna need these two things, and we're also gonna need some garlic powder. And honestly, that's it. A little salt, garlic powder, and white distilled vinegar. It's a secret ingredient. I know people don't cook with it a lot, but it's actually really good in this. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. It's super simple. We're gonna start out with mayonnaise. I'm gonna start with about 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. And as you guys go, when you're making sauces like this, you're going to be able to adjust them to your taste. If you want this spicy, for example, add some sriracha. Add your favorite hot sauce, add some chili flakes, some chopped jalapeno. This is your kitchen and you guys need to add what you like. And then I'm gonna go in, just squeeze it right in there with about 1/4 of a cup of ballpark mustard. And I'm gonna give it a stir. So I'll get you guys to come in here and see this. What I'm looking for is just a more pale color. I'm looking to get all of those lumps out. And I want this to be nice and tangy. You don't have to worry about this being completely incorporated because we are going to add more things, including about 1/4 of a teaspoon of granulated garlic, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I know this is crazy, guys, but we're gonna use white distilled vinegar. This is not something I cook with all the time, but it's especially useful in this recipe. I'm gonna start with 1/4 of a teaspoon. All right, let's give it a stir. And the only way we're gonna know if this is good and if it's where we want it to be is if we taste it. Ooh, tangy, a little bit of garlic. That garlic's gonna bloom in the sauce as we go. So that's why we're making this first, because we want to give it some time. Excellent. This is good, guys. This is good to go. Again, if you want to add anything else to this, a little smoked paprika and something spicy, that is your prerogative. But I'm going to pop this in the fridge so we can prep the rest of our ingredients. So then, there's so much thunder. I love it. The next thing we're gonna prep is our onion. Now, I don't eat McDonald's burgers often at all, maybe once every few years, but this is just a bowl for my onion peel. The thing I love about McDonald's burgers is the way they cut their onions. And if you cut your onions this way, it's gonna taste like a fast food burger, which if you really like fast food burgers, you know what I'm talking about. If you think they're absolutely disgusting, then you'll just like this. I'm not doing anything else fancy to the onion, but I think onion is an absolutely crucial ingredient for this. Okay, let me show you how I cut this onion. You're gonna wanna come in here and see this. So I do little cuts, and I actually use my finger to just keep the onion down by pulling it off the knife. And I'm cutting this onion as small as humanly possible. So if you've ever looked at the onion on a McDonald's burger, it's in these itty bitty little squares. And I don't know what it is about that. I just love it. So now I line it up again. And this is go slow, guys. This is a little bit cumbersome, but you will get it. It's just about making sure they are as small as possible. Oh no, it's making me cry. Oh. Just so small. Look at this. When you cut your onions like this for your burger, you're never gonna be able to do it any other way again. The key is to make sure that everybody who eats these burgers all eats them with the onion so that everybody stinks. It cancels each other out, I swear. I'm gonna load this onion onto a plate, and this is one of my other favorite tips. Get yourself a plate, and we're gonna arrange all of our toppings on here. It's gonna be beautiful. I like to call this my cute plate because it ends up being really cute at the end, in my opinion. Next, lettuce. Now, I happen to have romaine here today. One of my favorite lettuces to use on burgers is iceberg. Now, I know that's controversial because iceberg is virtually void of nutrition and is pretty much water and has no taste, but the crunch and the cold is awesome. I love it, but I have this today. I'm a firm believer in use what you have on hand. I'm gonna literally shred this lettuce. So if you wanna come in close again, I'll show you how I'm gonna shred this. Go slow and steady with your knife. Shred this lettuce. Nice and small. Listen to that crunch. I love to pile this lettuce high. Sky is angry tonight. They want a burger. They know they're not getting one. Onto your cute plate. See? You cannot tell me this doesn't look good. That's why we call it the cute plate. Looking like a snack over here. Next ingredient, pickles. Use whatever kind of pickles you like. I like dill. Actually, I also like bread and butter. I don't really discriminate against pickles, but you use what you want. I'm using dill today. And I'm going to slice them. Nothing crazy here. Awesome. Guys, I once made these burgers on a date at about 11:30 at night. Huge hit. I did have my cast iron pan in the trunk of my car, which worked out really well. You get to know a lot about somebody when you find out they have a cast iron pan in their trunk. We're done cutting, and I'm gonna load these onto the plate. You're gonna grab your box grater, and we're gonna grate it on the largest setting. Now, you grate as much or as little cheese as you like, and grate whatever cheese you like, honestly. When it comes to your kitchen, I've said this 100 times, I feel like you need to do what you like, because that's the benefit of cooking at home. And when you can cook at home with all the tips and tricks of a restaurant, I mean, why wouldn't you? So I'm just gonna grate this cheese on the large holes of a box grater. And these pieces that fall off, these are a cook's treat. So make sure you eat them. Yep, those two are mine. Huh. Guess where the cheese is going? On our cute plate. So now's a great time to prep your buns. I've got 3 here because I'm gonna make 3 burgers. And no, I didn't get the Ziploc bag at the grocery store or the bakery. I made these buns. Homemade buns are my favorite thing. They are just on another level and they freeze really, really well. They defrost in 15 minutes and they just taste so much better than store-bought, guys. Now is a great time to hit the like button to let me know if you want to see how I make these homemade burger buns, because we can definitely do that in a future episode. Just cut your buns right down the middle so that you can toast them. We are cooking these burgers on the workhorse of the kitchen, the cast iron pan. If you do not have one of these, a stainless steel will work. I wouldn't do this in a non-stick, but if you have cast iron, now is the time to break it out. So I just did a little cleanup so we could get some things out of the way, and it's time for the beef. Now, the beef is the main ingredient, so guys, honestly, I wouldn't stinge out on this. There's one type of beef you absolutely must use for this burger, and it's medium ground beef. Now, I like to use medium ground chuck. And this is the type of meat you should be using for your burgers. If you have a great local butcher, now's the time to go and see them for this beef, because we are going to flavor this beef so simply that you're gonna want the flavors to shine. We're not mixing a bunch of stuff into this, and that's why this is a 5-minute burger. We don't actually need to do a whole lot to this beautiful beef in order to get it to taste good. So I have a pound here, and I'm going to break it into 3 portions. I'm gonna make nice round mounds of beef. I'm going to flatten them with the palm of my hand. These patties are going to shrink, so you want them to be a little bit larger than your bun. And another pro tip coming at you right now is you wanna make a little well in the center. Because what happens when you cook beef is it tends to dome up in the middle. I like when you get all these little craggy ends. Those are gonna get nice and crispy. Remember, we're using a cast iron pan and it's going to be hot. We're gonna form a crust on the outside of these burgers like you have never seen. Harvey's who, right? Last burger. You're probably wondering, if we didn't mix anything into these burgers, how are they gonna taste so good? Let me show you. Salt, freshly cracked black pepper, which I just ground, and garlic powder. That's it. Now we need to season these properly, so I'm using a kosher salt. If you're using a table salt, you're gonna wanna use less. Table salt is very, very salty. And if you are using a table salt, maybe consider switching up your salt soon for something like a coarser ground Himalayan or a kosher. And I'm just gonna season this high up so we get even coverage and liberally. This is super simple, guys. Next, freshly cracked black pepper, same approach. Season liberally and evenly. And finally, garlic powder. Just a light dusting all over your burgers. So I'm just gonna push this seasoning in lightly just to make sure it sticks. I'm gonna flip these burgers over carefully and give the other side a light season. That smells so good. And we are ready for the stove because these are going to cook in a flash. We're gonna cook them high, we're gonna cook them fast, and you're gonna want all of your ingredients close by because it's gonna go really, really fast, guys. If you also want to toast your buns, you're gonna wanna move your broiler right up under the element because we're gonna turn our broiler on high and get these burgers on there. You're gonna want your cast iron skillet like we talked about and a lid that will cover that cast iron skillet. If you don't have a lid, grab yourself a big piece of aluminum foil. So over to the stove with these burgers. Okay, so this is my lid. I've got my cast iron preheating right now to medium high on number 8. And also, this is our cheese secret that we were talking about at the beginning. You're gonna need a small glass of water, like a 1/4 cup, not even, because this is how we're gonna meld our cheese. You're gonna wanna stay tuned for that. Tools that we're gonna need to be successful at this point. We need a spatula now, or a lifter. This is a metal one. I love using a metal one because it allows me to get right under the burger and get all of that nice crusty sear that we developed. This gets right under that and we can keep it intact with the burger. I've got tongs to get my burgers in the oven, or my burger buns in the oven so that we can toast them. Like I said, this is gonna go quick, guys. This is a 5-minute burger. If you're doing this from start to finish without all this instruction and explaining, you absolutely can do this. I've also pulled some ketchup out of the fridge because that's the only ingredient that isn't on our cute plate right now. And I don't know about you, but I need ketchup on my burger. I want this pan hot, like ripping hot. So I'm really gonna let it come to temperature. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm not gonna be impatient. I did put on an apron because this is going to get a little bit messy. We're gonna get some sputtering and some spitting, but don't be alarmed. You're good, you can do this. Now you wait and eat your cheese. I mean, that's why we grated extra, right? Oh yes. This is a sign of success. Smoke. That's what we want. I'm gonna hit this pan with a little bit of avocado oil. You can use what you want. This is my high heat cooking oil of choice. 1 turn of the pan is plenty. Oh yeah. All right, guys, I told you this is gonna go quick, so buckle up. Burgers into the pan. All right, so what's happening right now is the super hot pan met the cold meat, and it's going to heat up extra quick. This is gonna cook for 3 minutes, that's it. So you wanna have your plate ready. When we flip these burgers, the cheese is gonna go on, the water's gonna go in, the top's gonna go on. Now is a great time to set your broiler on high for those buns. Time to flip, guys. It's been 1:30. Flip your burgers over, turn your heat down to medium, and we're gonna top these burgers with our cheese. Now here comes that secret that we talked about, guys. Take a little bit of water and get your lid ready. We are steaming this cheese right onto those burgers, like, ooh. And guys, I'm turning this off. It's been 45 seconds. I'm killing the heat on this because all the residual heat is gonna keep cooking. And in another minute or so, I'm gonna pull the whole thing off the heat completely. I'll move our toppings over to our topping station. And we're just gonna let this do its thing while we toast some buns. Get your buns into the oven, cut side up. These burgers are ready to come off the heat. I'm gonna give you a peek at this cheese, coming close. I just wanna eat this melted cheese, but all this melted cheese is also gonna go on the burger. So either way, it's getting in my belly. All right, buns are done. Off, get these out of the oven. It's time to assemble these burgers, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm gonna show you the way I like to do it, and I always like to start with this burger sauce right on the bottom, and be generous. I mean, if you're not a burger sauce person, I won't hold it against you, but I like a lot. Onions, smush those right into that burger sauce. Next, patty. I put some of that cheese on top that melted to the cast iron. That's a pro tip if I ever heard one. Next, I like to put my ketchup on the top bun. Again, as much as you want. Hit this burger with some pickles. And finally, a nice big mound of lettuce right on top. Oh yeah. Guys, look at this. Get that top bun on, and there's the money shot. So these are my 5-minute homemade beef burgers, and I'm telling you guys, like, this burger sauce with these incredible burger patties, that cheese melting technique, the pickles, that shredded lettuce, it doesn't get better than this. Except maybe if I show you how to eat these. So the way I like to eat a burger is I like to get in and cradle it like a little baby. I position my baby fingers, my pinky fingers at the back of the burger right here, and I use my pinky fingers and my thumb to push on the back of the burger, and I actually eat it upside down like this. If you know who Guy Fieri is, get your Guy Fieri hunch on and just go to town. Make sure you get your lipstick all over the bun. Guys, when I say this is a recipe for real life, this is something you're going to be able to go back to over and over and over again. I hope you'll subscribe, because it really helps our channel. I hope you like this video. If there's something you want to see us make, you want to see how to make these burger buns, let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us all the time. We upload weekly, so make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna go eat this burger. I'm Christina. Thanks for being here on The Main. If you liked that video, you should definitely hit subscribe because I have some freshly baked content coming at you soon. Even some stuff